Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital Wednesday, November 6 recap, Michael's scandalous video, Willow's forgotten earring, and Holly's horror. General Hospital, GH, spoilers recap for Wednesday, November 6, reveals that Carly Spencer, Laura Wright, gave Jack Brennan, Charles Mazur, updates on Sasha Gilmore Corbin's, Sophia Matson, snatching and identified Jen Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, as her kidnapper through a photo. Carly was baffled over Sidwell, claiming he wanted his diamonds back from Sasha's mother since she assumed her mom was deceased. Hannah Devane, Finola Hughes, arrived to explain that Sasha was Holly Sutton's, Emma Sam's daughter. Although Anna made a prediction about things not being simple with Holly, she took off with a plan. In Robert Scorpio's, Tristan Rogers' office, Holly told him about the stolen diamonds and her ransacked room. However, Holly wouldn't divulge where the diamonds were now and remained reluctant to throw away her huge score. Robert was still trying to pry more information out of Holly when Anna showed up with the news that Sidwell had kidnapped Sasha. At GH, Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr didn't have any autopsy info on Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, yet, but she reminded Lucas Jones, Van Hansis, that they were being thorough and that it could take a while. Later, Portia took Isaiah Gannon, Solandi Wilson, to her office and admitted Sam didn't make it. This was an unusual situation with added pressure since Lucas had been operating on his own sister. Portia quizzed Isaiah about whether Lucas might have made any mistakes, but Isaiah gave him a glowing review and felt Lucas did everything right. Although Isaiah worried Portia was looking for a scapegoat, she denied that. Meanwhile, Lucas did research on post-surgery cardiac arrest and appeared tormented over what happened to Sam. Brad spied on Lucas a few times to check on him before offering a sympathetic look as he appeared in the locker room. At the Quartermain mansion, Michael Corinthos, Chad Dell, went searching for Willow Corinthos, Caitlin McMullen, and asked Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seton, about her during his hunt. Scout Quartermain, Cosette Abenant, came running over following a bad dream and said she couldn't find Drew Quartermain, Cameron Matheson. Brooklyn assured Scout that Drew was around there somewhere before taking her to the kitchen for hot chocolate. Up in the playroom, Willow and Drew got dressed after their romp. Although Willow acknowledged that they were both responsible for what happened, she insisted on burying the mistake and warned it couldn't happen again. On the playroom floor, Willow accidentally left an earring behind. Willow went out the back and came in the front door later, so she gave Michael excuses about putting her phone on silent and falling asleep. Despite the recent issues between them, Willow wanted to be there for Michael over the loss of Sam. Drew appeared soon after and gave Scout a vague excuse about how he was off trying to stay busy. Michael looked suspicious since Drew and Willow seemed a bit on edge. Willow pretended she was just now comforting Drew over Sam's demise and gave him an awkward hug. Once Michael stepped away, he spotted a notification on his phone about some motion detected on the baby monitor in the playroom. Michael was horrified as he watched the video of Drew and Willow's hookup earlier. Willow walked over and wondered what Michael was watching, but Drew and Scout interrupted. Since Scout wanted Willow to help Drew tuck her in, Michael suggested they should take their time. That left Michael alone to continue watching the scandalous video and fume over Willow's betrayal with Drew. Next, Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, looked crushed as he came home to an empty penthouse. Sonny Corinthos, Morris Bernard, and Olivia Quartermain, Lisa Locicero, eventually showed up to comfort Dante as he struggled to cope. Once Dante was alone, he smelled Sam's leather jacket from the closet as he continued grieving. Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Gran, also got a visit from Curtis Ashford, Donald Turner, so she accepted his comfort and assured him that she wasn't going to drink. After Curtis was gone, Sonny stopped by to check on Alexis as well. Alexis rambled about all the decisions that needed to be made about Sam's service and struggled to believe this was really happening. General Hospital spoilers say Alexis still has some tough days ahead of her, so stay tuned. In a whirlwind day on General Hospital, Wednesday, November 6, served up high drama, unexpected confrontations, and twisted revelations, leaving everyone in Port Charles on edge. Michael's scandalous video shakes Port Charles. It all began with Michael, who found himself at the center of a shocking scandal. The day before, he'd been working late at ELQ, overseeing a big corporate acquisition. Exhausted but exhilarated, he decided to celebrate, only for his night to take a dramatic turn when he crossed paths with Sasha, his former love. They shared an intense moment in his office that neither of them anticipated. Unbeknownst to Michael, someone with malicious intent had planted a hidden camera in his office. The video, capturing his vulnerable moment with Sasha, was leaked the next day, flooding social media and the Port Charles gossip mill. Brooklyn was the first to see it, texting him urgently with an ominous "call me now." Realizing the extent of the damage, Michael was torn between anger and betrayal. Sasha, on the other hand, was mortified. She'd already faced harsh scrutiny from the public after her previous scandal with deception and drugs. Reeling from her own guilt and fear of her reputation being tarnished again, Sasha worried that this could sabotage her slowly mending relationship with Michael. She knew her past was a sensitive topic, and she worried how people would twist this scandal to hurt Michael further. But the biggest blow was yet to come. Michael received an anonymous email demanding money to stop the spread of further footage. Someone in Port Charles had Michael in a vice grip, and he had no idea who it could be. Ned, sensing the looming disaster for ELQ, urged Michael to act quickly and neutralize the scandal before it impacted the company's stock and reputation. But Michael was already thinking ahead. He wanted to find out who was behind this scheme, and he vowed to get justice, no matter what it took. Willow's forgotten earring raises suspicion. Meanwhile, across town, Willow faced her own dilemma, one that was much more personal. Earlier in the day, she'd stopped by Chase's apartment to drop off a gift for his new place, a cozy blanket she'd knit herself. But an unexpected visitor had interrupted them. That visitor was none other than Nina, who had developed a complicated connection with Willow despite their bitter history. Trying to avoid drama, Willow had made a quick exit, only to realize later that one of her earrings was missing. And it wasn't just any earring. It was a special pair given to her by her mother, which she cherished deeply. She retraced her steps, and after a moment of panic, remembered that she might have left it at Chase. Knowing Nina could still be there, she was hesitant to go back. But as the hours ticked by, her anxiety grew. She finally decided to go, reasoning that it was worth the risk to recover her precious earring. As she arrived at Chase's door, she froze. She heard laughter, Nina's laughter, specifically coming from inside. Willow's heart skipped a beat. Were they laughing about her? Or was there something else going on that she wasn't privy to? When Chase opened the door, his face registered surprise, but not guilt. He'd found her earring and was just about to call her, he explained. Willow felt relief wash over her, but there was a twinge of something else. As she glanced between Chase and Nina, she couldn't shake the feeling that something was brewing. Nina's lingering smirk as she handed over the earring left Willow unsettled. Was Nina's renewed interest in Chase purely innocent? Or was she using Chase to get under Willow's skin once more? Holly's horror, a dark discovery. Back at the hospital, Holly's world was spiraling into chaos. She'd returned to Port Charles with hopes of reconciling her past and reconnecting with old friends and family. But her plans took a sinister twist when she discovered disturbing evidence in her hotel room. Earlier that morning, she received a cryptic letter slipped under her door. The letter, written in what appeared to be blood-red ink, contained a single chilling line. "The truth isn't buried deep enough." The message had sent shivers down Holly's spine, hinting at a secret she thought she'd left buried in the past. But someone knew, and they weren't about to let her forget it. After reading the letter, Holly's hands trembled as she recalled the last time she'd felt this level of terror. She had been involved in a covert operation years ago, dealing with high-stakes figures who wouldn't hesitate to enact revenge. Her mind raced with questions. Had they finally found her? Or was someone else trying to manipulate her, using her past to make her vulnerable? Determined to uncover who was behind the letter, Holly enlisted Robert's help. Despite their tumultuous history, Robert still cared for Holly and knew her better than most. Together, they started piecing together the clues. But as they dug deeper, Holly was hit with another shock. A familiar face from her past, long presumed dead, appeared in a shadowy figure in her room. Stunned, Holly barely managed to gasp as she confronted the person she thought was gone forever. This mystery figure only stared back with an inscrutable expression before whispering, "You didn't bury me as well as you thought." Just as suddenly as they'd appeared, the figure was gone, leaving Holly with more questions than answers. Repercussions and resolutions. As night fell over Port Charles, the fallout of the day's events loomed large. Michael, determined to keep his family and ELQ out of scandal, secretly hired Spinelli to help trace the blackmailer's IP address. As Spinelli hacked his way through layers of deception, he unearthed a surprising link between the leak and a longtime ELQ competitor. Michael, on edge, prepared to confront this hidden enemy, but knew he couldn't trust anyone, perhaps not even his family. Willow tried to bury her concerns about Nina's intentions, but she couldn't silence the nagging doubts about what Nina's presence in Chase's life would mean for her own. She wrestled with her emotions, wondering if she could truly trust Chase or if Nina's influence would only grow. Meanwhile, Holly, rattled by the day's horrors, vowed to face her past once and for all. She knew that the shadow lurking over her wouldn't disappear on its own. As she set her mind on confronting the figure from her past, she was unaware that they were already planning their next move, watching her every step from the shadows. As the clock ticked forward, each of these characters stood at a crossroads, their choices weaving into the larger tapestry of deception, betrayal, and drama that defined life in Port Charles. And as they each faced their own crisis, the question remained: who would come out unscathed, and who would find themselves ensnared in Port Charles' relentless intrigue?